Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Day number 637 coming to you tonight live from Greenville, Pennsylvania. Back home, finally. The last stream I did from this studio, I looked at, it was day 618. Been on the road nonstop, really, for the last 3 months. But we're back, and I'm here until I leave for Ukraine. All is well. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I do see you here. It looks like the Sade was in here early asking questions. We'll try to answer those. First question of the night. Who's doing Ukrainian soldiers' laundry? U.S. soldiers hired locals to do menial work. Think laundry, empty porta potties, digging sandbags. Ukrainian soldiers are doing that. However, in areas where there is still population in towns with people, a lot of volunteers do it there in the town. But Ukrainian soldiers are. So basically their schedule is typically on like 72 hours, off like 72 hours on their rotations. And that's directly from them. Do all units have the same luxuries on the front lines, or some on Spartan diets while others eating like kings? I can tell you right now that Ukrainian soldiers eat well. One thing is Ukraine has good cooks, good food, and everywhere I've been, nobody's hungry. In fact, tonight you're going to see about that live from, well, not live, but just happened with Zhenya. Have any Ukrainian billionaires, millionaires given up their fortunes for ammo, gear, and weapons? And who, so I can look them up. Donations are one thing, but crazy sums of money are needed. That's correct. And the answer is very few. Many of the oligarchs are oligarchs because of their connections with Russia, not their connections with Ukraine. So I can tell you that some of the business owners on the mega level have donated a lot, but no. Our country's still training. Yes, they are still training. In fact, there are some soldiers in Romania right now. And then, of course, the F-16 pilots are being trained. The number, it's interesting you asked that. The number came out today that over 100,000 Ukrainian soldiers during this war, 637 days, have been trained outside the country. Linda Cassio, welcome to you there. Let me click that off. Jeffrey Burnett, greetings, he says, from sunny California. Jeffrey, one of our moderators. Sunny California, 40 and raining here. Tim Ryder dropping some knowledge. He answered DeSade, Rick Berry, Nate Fody. Thank you for that. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys. Don Giannolini, as always. JDO, moderator. Thank you, sir, for all that you do. Stephen Phelps, happy Thanksgiving to you. Welcome. Carrie Dyer checking in from Nevada. Welcome to you. There seems to be 2 streams running currently. Yeah. Thank you, JDO. Wow. Thank you, sir. Put that over there. How on earth? Thank you, guys. Okay, that is crazy. JDO, if you don't mind, take care of that other chat over there. Unbelievable. All right, guys. Now, I'm back in the studio now. I know exactly what I'm doing here. That doesn't make any sense. That's crazy. Let me do this as well. Go here, please. Well, everybody will jump over here. We've got it pinned, and thank you, JDO. Appreciate you. Honestly, guys, that's crazy. Angie Kuhn, welcome to you. Ricochet, appreciate you giving me the heads up. Hernan Conti, welcome from Argentina. And all of you guys, welcome. So we're going to get going now, and a lot to cover tonight. A lot, actually. And tonight, at the end of the stream, I'm going to show you video from Zhenya tonight. It's incredible. That's all I can say is it's incredible. So we'll get to that at the end. Very powerful. And yes, you're going to see our buddy Fish. And I'll tell y'all the general area where Zhenya is tonight here in a little bit. So let's jump to it. Thank you for being here. And you know what? Since I'm back home.
Slava Ukraini.
There we have it. Now, you know what? That is so weird because, okay, so you guys, you see that screen right there? This is how I push your comments up on the screen. And it doesn't even, maybe we're being hacked. Okay, something's goofy because it's not possible. It's just not possible. All right. Unbelievable. Frontline up close. I want to tell you guys, Skeg, I'm going to make that message tone for you. In fact, I'm going to write it down. Remind me at the end of the stream. 2 different chat windows as well. I have. Which comments do you see? That's interesting. You guys are smart. I'm seeing the other. Let me do this. Oh, that's nuts. Sorry, guys. It doesn't even make sense. This is wrong comments. You're right. Chat 2. How is that even possible? I better put up a third stream just to be safe. You read my comment. You're on the right one. All right, okay, so I'm reading. This is crazy, guys. Crazy. Yeah, weird. Wrong comments. Go to chat 2. All right, I'm seeing both of them. I don't know. I know what I thought I knew what I was doing. I guess I don't anymore, but everybody's getting over here. Something is definitely weird. Listen, we're going to get the news going here in just a second. Chat. Yeah, that's crazy. Absolutely not even possible. Let me do this. Sorry, Zhenya's video is going to be worth it all, guys. I promise you. The same. That's good. Okay. I have no idea. I'm reading your comments over there. So this is nuts. I mean, nuts. All right, here we go, guys. Front lines up close, the bottom line, stream working, everybody getting over here. So tonight, I'm going to give you an up-to-date look at the front lines and the good parts and the bad part. That's where we're going to start. But as always, we're going to start with the air raid alert. And I can tell you right now, this is what we're looking at here. And that's beautiful. It's quiet right now. We'll check it again. before we click out of here. Now, I'm going to use tonight the ISW map. It's, in fact, I may use both. I may use ISW and Deep State, to be honest with you. So we're going to start up here in the north. Remember, on this map, gold is Russian advancement or Russian ability to control with shelling or advancement. This is up on Kupiansk today, last 24 hours. Russia began pushing again on Kupiansk. It had been quiet there for a few days. Additionally, if I come down to Siversk, which is this, basically pretty quiet, but you guys are seeing gold. Gold is not what we want to see. Blue is what we want to see. The other thing that I want to show you here is Bakhmut, of course. Isn't it interesting? You're not really hearing much about Bakhmut right now. It's because it's not quiet there, but it's relatively quiet there. Russia pushing back. And there's one place I want to draw your attention to. You guys remember Klishivka? I've shown you the video of that, and every home is destroyed there. Well, remember a few weeks ago, I was able to tell you guys that Ukraine had crossed the railroad track. They had taken that point and they had pushed up actually to this red line. Well, now Ukraine has had to pull back, and Russia once again is controlling that area of Klishivka. I draw your attention to that because we've talked about that place quite a bit. If I come down to Avdiivka, you can see it for yourself here. The coke plant is right here, and they're really trying to push that because if they get that, and Ukraine's holding it, but if they get it, it really cuts off the backside of the city. And I'm going to show you guys Avdiivka here in a minute. Let's see. I've got a video of Avdiivka. In fact, you know what? Let me show you that right now. So we'll show you this before we move around the map. So here's Avdiivka. This is video coming out yesterday. This is not the Red Cross. You're going to see some video where you see a little Red Cross on the hood. This is not the Red Cross. This is a part of the volunteer angel group, and they do have a Red Cross marker on their white hood. So in one of their vehicles, here it is, Avdiivka, and this is video from yesterday. So that's Avdiivka. JDO, you said it right in the comments. Scorched Earth. Bill Schwarz checking in from Hungary. Welcome, my friend. Appreciate you, buddy. And yes, you will see Zhenya in a moment. Bill Schwarz is one of our partners, guys, and moderators. Thank you for welcoming Bill. Big supporter of Ukraine and our efforts there. We're talking big money, care, goods, you name it. And Bill knows Zhenya as well, very well. So thank you, Bill. Now, let's go back to the front. Let me pull this over to this guy. And that's Avdiivka. And you just saw Avdiivka. You know, you are seeing quite a bit of gold here. We do see some blue. Blue is Ukrainian. Gold, Russian. This is Ugledar, city where we work, or village, town where we work. And you can see getting a little tight there. This has been the area for months where Ukrainians' counteroffensive has been and taken the most territory back. But you can see some golds pushing back. I'm working over toward Robitny. This is where Ukraine has made their other good push, and we have a few more I'm going to show you. So we're getting in some good news here. Ukraine completely controls Robitny. Again, Russia had tried to push back. Ukraine really needs to get Verbovi, but it's going to be extremely difficult. And you see a pushback here. Very difficult terrain there. Russia pushing back here. This is a new push from Ukraine. We're directly due south of Zaporizhia here. But this is a new push, and it's toward the village of Piatukatu. Piatukati. Piatukatu. It actually means 5. So, Piat, it's 5. Coming down the river now. This is the reservoir that's still dry. Energodar here with nuclear power plant. And now we actually have it on the maps where Ukraine has made their landfall on the left bank. So, all right. You see this town right here? That's Taginka. We do ton of work in there. This is the town where Fish was stationed. He's not there anymore. You will see Fish tonight, our soldier buddy and yours. Ivanivka, we drop aid right here on the river. And you can see this is where Ukraine has established a little piece of territory on the left bank. Additionally, right here is another area. It's just on these low grounds here. And if I come down, right here, this is their biggest. You can see this little road here. This is up. This is a part of a little village here. This is where the majority of Ukrainians that have crossed in the hundreds have established this as a beachhead and as a positional point. So this is very, very, very good down there. So interesting what's going on there on the front lines. That's the up close what's happening. Very interesting graphic right here. Hey there, Niels. Norway, my friend. You seen Sean Penn's documentary on Ukraine? Yes, it's good. Hello, Bill. Prepper Nation. Thank you, Prepper. And Niels from Norway. So this is very interesting here. Very interesting. We're talking about Russian defensive lines there, and it seems Russia's making some pushes and Ukraine's making some pushes. You guys understand basically very little is pushing. It's just back and forth. Although establishing the points on the left bank, very important. What you're looking at here, these are graphics of Russian fortifications by oblast or by region. The number on the far right is kilometers. And the orange, the yellow, the blue, and the purple are different types of lines and fortifications, mined lines, tunneled lines, dragon's teeth, that Russia has established to defend these regions. If you start in the bottom, that's the Kharkiv region. Russia only has 28 kilometers of fortified lines in the Kharkiv region. They control very little of Kharkiv. Ukraine controls 98% of Kharkiv region. Then we have Crimea. The second one up is Crimea. Russia has 265 kilometers of fortified lines. The next one is Kherson. The Kherson region, Russia has 886 kilometers. You say, well, I stopped at the river. No, the Kherson region goes across the river. 886 kilometers there of fortified. And then we come into Lugansk, which Russia controls basically all of it. There may be one little sliver, but basically all of it, 1,140 kilometers of fortified lines. Then we come to Donetsk. This would be Bakhmut. This would be Avdiivka, Siversk. They have 1,865 kilometers of fortified lines. And then finally, Zaporizhia. That is a huge swath of territory. Zaporizhia region is very big. They have 1,869 kilometers of fortified lines. President Zelensky was speaking about this today, and he said, we're not going to give up until we win all of our territory back, but they are dug in. They're very dug in. In fact, Daniloff makes a statement about that, and I'll share that with you guys in just a moment. I'm getting used to my buttons again. Here you see a picture of Vladimir Zelensky, and you also see, I scaled it back, a picture of Vladimir Putin. You have a dictator on the right, and you have a democratically elected president fighting for his nation on the left. And you see the word no there. The reason no is there is because Zelensky came out today and reiterated that Ukraine will not give up territory. And he was specific. We will not give up Kharkiv region, Donetsk, Lugansk, Zaporizhia, Kherson, and Crimea. They are non-negotiable. Now, why did Zelensky come out and say that today? The reason, and I will show you this video in just a few moments, Vladimir Putin spoke today at the G20, and the leaders at the G20, not including Xi and Biden, who did not attend, and this was a virtual G20 meeting, and they're not there or didn't call in. They were not active. So other national leaders, especially India, Modi, I think is his name, is asking Vladimir Putin to talk about the war in Ukraine, to talk about how does it end? How can we stop it? And Vladimir Putin gives an answer to that. And I'm going to share that with you in a moment. I've got that translated as well. So Zelensky says, after Putin's statements came out, Zelensky said, 0, you will not take our land. We're fighting for our land. Now, I want to show you guys something here. This is Maidan III, and I'm going to explain that to you in just a moment. But if you look at that picture right there, that is directly in the center of Kyiv. In fact, I'm going to try to give you a different angle on it as well. This picture is from 2014, and you see a large crowd of people there. I was there right after Maidan happened, and you may be here tonight not even knowing what Maidan is. A, it's a central square there in Kyiv. B, it is the place where Ukraine began their revolution against the Russian control of Ukraine through presidents, through propaganda, through everything we're still fighting for today. This is where it began. This is the location where you probably remember the revolution happened there, and the snipers were shooting and they killed many Ukrainians there. Zhenya and another friend of mine were on the square when the sniper bullets were flying, and they were giving medical aid, trying to save people's lives. I mean, like, very serious. You guys may not know this, but Zhenya went to medical school. That's what he started with. He was going to be a doctor. Smart guy. So Maidan III is actually the name of the Russian operation to kill Vladimir Zelensky. That's what it's called, Maidan III. And Zelensky was being interviewed, I think, with the Sun or somebody there in Great Britain. He's speaking English. He talks about the attempts on his life, codename Maidan III. Now, this angle that you're looking at right here, this is the angle from the Hotel Ukraina or Hotel Ukraine. It sits up on a hill, and this is the actual view and position where the Russian elite snipers were. And yes, it was Russian snipers, and they were killing people right there in that square. This is where it happened. This was right before the attacks happened, because if you look over on the right and you see that advertisement there with it says Novi GX460, it's a car advertisement. That building was destroyed with fire. They have had to rebuild it. So this is right before it unfolded. Ukraine was building the tree over there, and they were standing for freedom. So this is Maidan. I want you to hear Zelensky talking about that. Here he is.
Normal. I think the first one is very interesting when it the first time, and after that you are it's like COVID. First of all, people don't know what to do with it, and it's looking very scary. Then after that, just intelligence, just sharing with you detail that one more group came to Ukraine to manage this. So, but
how many have there been?
I don't know. I don't know. I think not less 5, 6, not less. Interesting. The last information that there is the plan, which I shared with you out of the camps that that's at the beginning of our meeting that they want very much, and the name of operation is Maidan III. It means to change the president. Maybe it's not by killing. I mean, it's changing. They will use any instruments they have. So that is the idea to the end of the year. This year, it was the idea. The new operation, even the name, they have even the name of operation. Yes. So, but you see, we can live with
it. He's telling them point blank, 5 or 6 attempts on my life. And he made the reference to COVID, how it was, difficult the first time, but after that, you kind of know how to deal with the situation. And it is called Maidan III, and it's the presidential change in Ukraine. And it's the Russian efforts. And he's had 5 to 6 attempts on his life. Now, I want to show you guys this. So this is Kyiv right here. You see this view right here. This is the Hotel Ukraina looking straight down. Let me see if I can drop us in there. This is right in the center of Kyiv. Road coming in from Zhytomyr. And then I go right into the downtown. I turn left and I come to Maidan. And it's right here. Let me see if I can get a street level view. Yes, I can. There. So that's the hotel I'm showing you the image from. It's the Hotel Ukraina. Up on that hill in those buildings is right there. That's the view looking down to the back side of the statue there. This image is from 2023. This is all an underground shopping area, and this is the square. You can see the wide streets. This is one of the most famous places in Ukraine. And this image is from right now. It's 2023. You see Slava Ukraina, Geroim Slava. That's it. So you got a little history lesson there tonight as well on Maidan. Now, I can tell you also that in the last 24 hours, Ukraine has vindicated or given retribution. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, the Ukrainian commander had his troops line up, and many of them were killed. He was giving them awards and just made a horrible mistake. Ukraine took advantage of, or Russia took advantage of it, threw an Iskander in there and killed many and wounded many. Well, today it was returned. Retribution for the 128th. Ukraine hit the 810th Sevastopol Marines at the awards ceremony. The Russian 810th were camouflaged. They were in the edge of a forest line, but Ukraine was aware of it. They put it on them. 25 Russian soldiers killed and 100 wounded. You know, it's just terrible. Terrible. JDO, thank you for that. Susie Q, thank you. Ronnie Vranken, unbreakable. That's correct. Check up on the chat. The Heavenly 100. Tim Ryder, you're exactly right. I watched the live stream this square of the first 48 hours of war. Need a string a hold on Putin to leave. Logiclus, correct. Prepper, start released video today for recounting the memories of dignity. Very informative. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Beautiful. So that's good there. Now, interesting today, President Duda came out, made a statement. We support Ukraine 100%. Even with what's happening at the border, do not question our support for Ukraine. 100% Poland supports Ukraine. 100% they're standing with Ukraine. But the border's an issue, a significant issue. And now aid, fuel, supplies that are coming via truck are not making it through consistently. So today, the guys blocking it said they will block it now until February the 1st. And I'm going to show you guys something. This is the view from the Polish side. Many people think that it's just Poland blocking the trucks coming out of Ukraine. No, you're blockaded on both sides. I'm going to show you a couple of video clips. You will see the trucks lined up. You hear a guy talking. He's just talking about the blockade. No need to translate it. This is 1,000,000% the Polish side. A, because I've got it from the Polish side. But B, if you look at the road, you know it's Polish markings, Polish paint on the roads, Polish infrastructure. Poland has some of the best roads in the world. They're beautiful. And you'll see it. So here we go. Just look for yourself here.
Показываем очередь из фур, из грузовых автомобилей, так как забастовка. Поляки бастуют. До границы 53 километра еще, чтобы вы понимали.
He says
Куча полиции
this
везде
has been
стоит.
53 kilometers
Вот такое
long.
количество грузовиков. Просто космическое. А как
Here is another piece of him here.
Коротше, ось черга далі починає.
You see fuel trucks.
Ось чому у нас і паливо таке дороге. Буде. Ну, це жесть.
You know, we've shared with you there's not many places for these truck drivers to go. I mean, even on the Polish side, these borders are barren.
Але черга просто немає всякого. Просто цю чергу не будеш знімати. Більша частина стоїть.
53 kilometers. Oh, awesome. Mark McLaren, you're right. Slovakian carriers again today blocked the border with Ukraine today. So it's 4:38 a.m. So 15 hours ago, blocking of truck traffic began at the Vushny-Nebetsky Uzhgorod checkpoint. Blockaded. And you're right there, Mark. 4 trucks per hour to enter and 1 to leave. I did some coloring on that map for you guys. You see blue there, of course, is Ukraine. Red is Poland. Black, Slovakia. So you have the Polish border struggling. You have the Slovakian border. Then you say, well, they can just go to the next nation. Yeah. Can you read that? That's the Hungarian border. Not really any help. They are anti-Ukraine. Orban is anti-Ukraine. And then below that's Romania. So there are other ways out, but they need the Polish border to be fixed. That's just it. And I honestly, Zhenya did that explanation so that we would all understand better. And he will do more of that as he's figuring it out and talking to people. But I still do not get it. Why can't the government fix it? Why can't Duda fix it? I don't get it. I don't get it. We'll find out more. We'll find out more later. Germany. Hey, we like to give shout outs when they're needed, and they're needed here. Ukraine will receive a 1.3 billion aid package from Germany. That's according to Boris Pistorius. And included in that are 4 Iris systems. Now that's good. 20,000 shells of 155 millimeter, that caliber, anti-tank mines, other miscellaneous stuff. But the 4 Iris systems, that is really good. So thank you, Germany. Yeah, JDO, I see you there. I'm watching you guys. Yeah, post that link there at the end, and I'll pin it. That'd be cool. Orban, today, after Putin's making his statements at the G20, which I'll show you in a moment, he questions the effectiveness of EU support for Hungary, and he stated today that Hungary will block any further sanctions against Russia, and Hungary will block any further EU aid to Ukraine. And his logic was, and this was out there, him speaking, he said, why should we keep doing this? The lines are not moving. Ukraine cannot defeat Russia. Why do we keep throwing money down a hole? That was his logic. And he said, we will block anything going forward. We'll see what happens. We wait and see, but that's Orban. Yuri Ignat, I've shown you him before. Sorry. He's the Air Force spokesperson. He says, sorry, there's no way to change the air alarms. You're seeing there the picture of a MiG-31, and the white missile under the belly of it is the Kinjal or the Dagger. It's a hypersonic missile. Ukraine can't stop it. We can get occasionally lucky, but they can't stop it. So when that MiG goes in the air, Ukraine goes on a complete air alarm, lasting now on average 3.5 hours to 4 hours. Zelensky said, find a way to fix that. We're hurting our economy. Businesses have to close. People are in basements. They're in bunkers. We have to stop this. Air Force came out and says, listen, as of right now, we just can't. It's too dangerous. So when those are in the air, we have to put the alert out. This is interesting here. I'll translate it for you. 79% of drones, then this is only drones. This is not missiles. 79% of drones over the last, since September the 14th, Ukraine has been able to have success in the air defense against 79%. Only 21% have hit their targets. 79% have been taken out, and it shows the numbers. So you see the top number and the bottom number. If you start on the far left, that's mid-September, and it goes about every 7 to 10 days. They break it down. 123 fired in a week, 102 taken out. 72, 59, 152, 113, 98, 76, and so on. You can see that 79%. But what is very interesting, Russia has fired 803 drones since September the 14th. 803. Ukraine has taken out 637. So when you think of it in a bigger scale, in a bigger scheme, 167 drones have hit their targets. The others have been taken out, destroyed in the air, or fallen, and the debris has still done damage. But folks, that is a lot of drones. A lot of drones. And I think it was Monday from Virginia I shared with you guys that Russia now has 3 times the amount of drones they had last winter at this time, according to Ukrainian intelligence, moving forward into the winter. And it's going to be tough. This is the actual, so up in the top right, well, you see the English there, conserve, electricity going down. The yellow circle there, it says Serda, that is today. This was an alert sent out. If you look at the bottom right, it says YKPEHEP, goofy letter O. That actually is Ukrenergo. Ukrainian energy. Ukraine. Energo. Energy. Ukrainian energy. They came out today and says, we're already at a deficiency. Yes, we've fortified. Yes, we've put the 3-layer defenses up. But as of right now, without any more hits, we're looking at rotating 2-hour power outages. And that's today without any more hits because we're at a deficiency in our system. Winter is kicked in. People are using more energy. And it's interesting. People do use more energy in the winter in Ukraine than in the summer. Why? Because many Ukrainians, millions and millions, do not have air conditioning. They use fans, open the windows. There are, millions that do, but it's not like EU, Australia, US. Everybody has air conditioning. So that in the summer, the air conditioning draw is not as big. Many shopping centers keep their temperatures up high. It's just cultural. Not into the AC. So summer's actually easier for us. Here in the US, we'd say, okay, summer's the hardest. People burning up the air condition. Winter will be easier. It's the opposite in Ukraine. Daniloff today, you see there on the left, a Russian soldier. That's a Russian soldier. On the right, you have Daniloff. Daniloff is the Secretary of Defense. This was his quote today. We have 4 months to prepare. After the elections, Putin will begin total mobilization. We have 4 months. After the March presidential elections, the authoritarian regime in Russia will finally be cemented, and the Kremlin will deploy its military potential to its full potential without regard to public opinion in the Russian Federation itself. He also added that Russia was able to adapt to the war and Western sanctions and is now actively pouring funds into its military industrial complex. Its economy is gradually moving onto a war footing. This is Daniloff. This is the Secretary of Defense. He's right. You know, we can go back to Peter Pavel, the president of Czech. He also was military general for NATO. Brilliant man, highly respected, brilliant, not only education, but also military strategy. He called it 6 months ago. Ukraine has until November 2024. That was his statement, because not only the United States election, which could drastically change the support for Ukraine. Secondly, he said, there are many elections happening throughout the EU. There are elections happening in other nations that are supporting. This was also before the war in Israel broke out. And he also made statements that the election for Putin will take place. Now, that's all just for show. Putin's going to be reelected, of course. However, after the election, Danilov's right. It's going to be gloves off for Russia. We'll see. Putin today spoke at the G20. Biden did not attend virtually, and Xi did not attend virtually. What did Putin say, and why did Zelensky respond to it and say, no, we will not give up our land. We will not negotiate our sovereign territory. This is what Putin said. I've got it voiced over in English for you. After leaders at the G20, specifically India, was asking him about the war in Ukraine and how to end it. In their speeches, they said that they were shocked by Russia's continued aggression in Ukraine. Yes, of course, military action is always a tragedy for specific people, specific families, and the country as a whole. And of course, we must think now about how to stop this tragedy. By the way, Russia has never refused peace talks with Ukraine. It was not Russia, but Ukraine that publicly announced that it is withdrawing from the negotiation process. And moreover, a decree of the head of state was signed, which prohibits such negotiations with Russia. So, you see it, and you saw Modi there with the big picture, because he was the one that had asked the question. We've never been anti-peace. It's Ukraine. They're the ones not wanting to negotiate. In fact, they've documented it that there are no negotiations. They left the negotiation table. They put it into their government and said, no, we're fighting for our country. It's all their fault. Desade, I disagree. Russia's gloves have been off with the exception of nukes. Okay. I mean, I understand your point. And I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I do in one way. Up to this point, you guys need to understand one thing. And that is a majority of the Russian military that has been fighting inside Ukraine is not their Western military. And when I say Western, I'm talking St. Pete, Moscow, all of that Western side of Russia, like ethnic Russians, highly trained, prepared. Russia has sent the cannon fodder from the east. They have sent mercenaries from Chechnya. They have sent prisoners released. Why? Because they do not care how many of those guys are killed. All they care about is messing the world economy up, having Ukraine lose its support from the West after 637 days of war, and the lines are not moving. So Russia still has their better forces. And I know you may not believe me, but I'm telling you the truth. They have not released their Western forces. They have sent cannon fodder and soldiers that are ill-equipped, ill-prepared. Why? They want Ukraine to shoot everything that they have at them. They want the West to supply and let it roll and grow weary. That's why I say it's, in my opinion, not gloves off yet, because you haven't seen the best of their soldiers. So we'll see. We'll be watching. No negotiating with terrorists. Ukraine is sticking to that. That's correct. Mark, surprised she didn't appear virtually. I guess since Surefire is so knowledgeable of Russia. Можно я буду наш стрим только на русском языке? И если ты понимаешь меня, может мы поговорим о России. Потому что я знаю Россию, и, конечно, мы будем поговорим от этого. Понимаешь меня? Но? Не понимай меня. Почему? Как возможно? Потому что ты знаешь все о России. Можно на русском языке знаешь. Говори со мной, пожалуйста. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. So if you want to speak to me in Russian, we can talk about it. It's only 30 years working there. Thank you, JDO. You stud. What happened? I mean, if you want to talk about Russia, we can go in Russian. Let's do it. Sorry, I try not to respond to many of those, but I had to on that one. All right. Now, this is where we're going to close out tonight. Those of us in the kit that Russia is short of, correct. Welcome, Larry and Debbie. Russia won't use the best troops unless there's expansion of the war, intervention from the Baltics or NATO. I'm a believer in that. I'm telling you guys that they're holding on to a chunk of soldiers, and we'll see. We'll be watching it all together. We'll see. Now, guys, let's get to the. Sorry to say it, I had to drop it on him. Guys, you're getting ready to see your help. Now, I'm going to set the stage for you. This is about 3 minutes long. Zhenya tonight is 5 miles from the Russian border. I can tell you this because you're going to see it on the video and it's okay to show it. He's in the Sumy region somewhere. And that's a long line on the border, so we're good. That's all I'm going to say. He's in the Sumy region. He's embedded tonight with Fish's group. And guys, all I can say is thank you, because you're the ones that make this stuff happen through your donations. Zhenya starts with showing you the new tires on our vehicle. They got it done, and they got all the way to the front. Secondly, you're going to see the weather. It's terrible. Third, Zhenya is delivering some of the drone supplies to Fish's group. Fourth, and probably the most beautiful thing, Zhenya and Maxime, another guy that works with us, picked up food in Kyiv. And tonight, tomorrow, they are cooking for the Ukrainian soldiers there. They said, give your cook a night off. We're cooking for you. Brought all the food, made a feast. It's beautiful. And then at the end of the video, you will see Fish, because Fish doesn't care. All the other guys there, we don't put them on camera. Fish, he says, put my face on there. I don't care. Fish has a very important job in what he does with the military. Michael McCool, welcome to you. Here you go, guys. Zhenya, I've set the stage for you. This is super cool. Super cool.
День народження.
Winners here.
Ну от такий у нас початок, да, поїздки.
That says Sumy region. Sumska Oblast.
Грей, пропускаєш. So we're cooking for our guys. We are about, I don't know, 5 miles? I don't know about that. And we decided to cook for our guys something good. It's a special rice. Here is the onion we fried. Here is the meat. We bought it on the way, and Maxime is preparing his part with the carrot, and all of us are doing something special for guys. And yes, we are on a distance reachable for absolutely most of something. So, but we protected, we're safe, secure, and praise God.
It doesn't get any better than that. Today I was talking with Fish quite a bit, Zhenya, and they called me, and I told Fish, I said, hey buddy, I'll be there very quick, and see you soon. To say, I knew that video was going to answer your questions, buddy. Mark McLaren, parts of Moscow Oblast without power as explosions hit energy plants. Several areas in Moscow Oblast, including the entire town of Lutkarino, are without power. Bill Schwarz over there in Hungary. Thank you, brother. I thought you would like that. Oh, and by the way, Bill Schwarz, you do a lot of support there for fish in that group. They have a special job, very important. Secondly, guys, y'all see all those thermals on everybody? Zhenya, Maxime, Fish, everybody. You bought them all. Thank you. We get everything there. All right, guys, that's where we're at tonight. And as we close out, for those of you here in the U.S., happy Thanksgiving to you tomorrow. Enjoy your family and friends. Enjoy, do not take for granted what we have here. Be grateful, because we could be tonight with Zhenya and Fish 5 miles, not from the Russian front line, from the Russian border. They're right there. And yes, it's shelled nonstop. So be blessed, guys. Appreciate all of you. Have a good night. And we will see you Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, if not before something goes sideways. Make sure you have notifications on. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being patient tonight. It was a goofy start, but we'll figure it out. Good night.
Слава Україні!